For too long, the financial world has been divided into public and private markets, but today, the most sophisticated capital... Welcome back. But today, the most sophisticated capital, the kind managed by the family office and iconic investors on this stage, but also in the audience, is moving at a convergence point where celebrity trust meets mobile commerce, where macroeconomics meets early stage venture, and where data privacy become defensible assets. So the goal of this panel is not to debate the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, or whatever. The goal is to unlock alpha by understanding the proprietary insight that drive high net worth decision. So we have a panel of experts who represent the full spectrum of risk and reward. So in the next 35 minutes, I guess, more or less, we're gonna shine a light on how delivering, the alpha and the best secrets from the best innovators. So, starting from Sharjah, so the rule is also always the same, 30 seconds to introduce yourself and to say what you do and to share the audience what you are involved in.
Sharjil Kashmir, I am an early stage venture capitals, and also I'm the president and chairman of Harvard Business School Alumni Angels of New York. We invest across sectors, but most of our portfolio is in healthcare, financial services, SaaS, and climate tech.
Thank you.
Hello.
Alessandro.
CEO of Terra Innovato. I'm Alessandro Petruzzi, working in the area of designing micronuclear reactor. We produce electricity, heat, and radioisotopes with our Solo reactor.
Thank you so much. Bernd.
Yeah, thank you, Carmelo. And I want to say this is the first...
Let's keep it closer.
Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, so thank you, Carmelo. And I was just going to make the observation. This is the first time here. I think it's pretty amazing. And while there have been a few shout-outs, we always say that your network is your net worth. And looking at this room and having the opportunity to network with everyone here, we're all so much richer for it, so thank you, Anthony. So very quickly, my background, I've always been in brand management and brand scaling, IP monetization, and always really with a focus on celebrity, entertainment, and pop culture. I've worked with some of the biggest names in entertainment, such as Damon John from Shark Tank, Tommy Hilfiger, Nicki Minaj, Adam Levine, did the largest deal ever done in celebrity with Jennifer Lopez and husband at the time, Mark Anthony, a deal valued at $3.5 billion. And I've done around $6 billion in celebrity monetization over my career.
Thank you so much. Austin.
Check, check. All right.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Austin Zellin. I am the founder of Zellin Consulting. We consult for companies like Microsoft, VMware, T-Mobile, Expedia, but our primary focus is companies who have an expert founder. So, for example, a doctor or maybe somebody who's a roofer, electrician, or something like that. And we come into their business, we install systems that are truly scalable, as well as AI tools, some that we developed, some other tools that we install to help them grow to the next level.
Thank you. John.
John Ruhl, founder, CEO of Bloomco Capital, as well as sit on multi-advisory boards through multiple sectors. We are sector agnostic in the beginning stages of becoming a full spectrum merchant bank. Would love to network with all of you. I do want to give a shout out to Anthony who put on the event. Thank you so much, Anthony. And I look forward to meeting all of you on the panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks, Carmelo. My name is Vishwa Karthik, serial entrepreneur for about 22 years. Sold my previous healthcare venture about 4 years ago and started on a journey to create an AI app to help people. Over 100 million jobs are going to be lost, so we just thought it's imperative we do something about it. So having used all of our work, so we tried to put something together in an AI platform to help people find the next jobs of the future as quickly as possible and work closely with a lot of people around. Wonderful event. Thanks, Anthony. First time around for me to come here. Really look forward to meeting and collaborating with everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Proper. I've been in the technology industry for 31 plus years. And the last 16 years focused on decentralized technology, primarily because we're all being robbed. Your identities are being robbed, your bank accounts are being robbed, and we believe it's time for the individuals to own their own identity and data through decentralization. We've built lots of different decentralized things, but the one that we're known for is a decentralized phone. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to getting to know you.
Thank you so much. So, Sharjeel, can you share with us more about HBS Alumni Angels of New York, what you do, and so what you are committed to?
Sure. Well, we invest in disruptive technology with a value investor lens. What that means is we're always looking for the latest technology, but we stay focused on what customer problem this particular technology is solving, whether it's making it easier, better, or cheaper. That's our lens, and we look at everything from that lens. I mean, some of the examples I can give you, the current companies that we're looking at. We're looking at tokenization of real assets is an opportunity we're exploring. We're looking at medical devices. We're looking at digitization of patient information, where it's aggregated across hospitals, across diseases, and coming up with a holistic view of what the issues are, and using AI to come up with suggestions on what the potential resolutions might be. Other things on climate tech, we, rather than focusing on physical devices, we focus on management information systems. How do you actually collect all the information that is out there for a particular building, a particular town, and aggregate that in a way that is useful, come up with different inferences, come up with regulatory reporting. So that's like an example or use case of what we're doing on the climate tech. On SaaS is pretty broad. Blockchain is one area that we're looking at. We think we might have reached an inflection point where it's kind of moving from research to the actual application, but obviously it's going to take much, much longer than people think. So these are some of the examples of the technology opportunities that we are exploring and actively investing in.
Do you have any preferred industry you are working on?
We don't. Most of our portfolio is healthcare, about 40%, and then it's followed by financial services, SaaS, and climate, and some industrials and consumer products. The reason we don't, first of all, we are very fortunate. We have about 50 sector leads, all Harvard graduates. They have expertise in financial services, consumer products. They have done a lot of work in all these different areas. So we have access to the expertise. And in addition to that, we don't think there are multiple opportunities in one particular vertical. You know, as you know, there's only one Google, there's only one Uber, there's only one Airbnb. So the objective is to figure out who might be the ultimate winner and invest in that rather than invest in 100 different companies and perhaps miss one big company that's going to be dominating that particular market. So we take full advantage of the fact that we have expertise across sectors, and we believe in that thesis that it's better to be spread out because there are only going to be very few winners in each of these verticals, sectors, or subsectors.
Thank you. Alessandro, can you share with us something about Solo, of course, your last Terra Innovatum project, and why this is the next big thing?
Yes, definitely. Our Solo project has the goal to bring energy cheap and clean everywhere in the world. The goal is to be a safe nuclear microreactor that is simple and that can be produced in a factory, taking into account the possibility to go down with the time of construction and the cost of construction thanks to the production in factory. We reduce totally the work on site, which is a limiting factor for the developing of the nuclear energy. When we conceived the Solo reactor in 2018, the goal was to let the nuclear energy penetrate in that sector of the market where nuclear was never present, because nuclear is a big infrastructure. Yep. If we go small, so much small, our reactor is 10 meters by 10 meters, 33 feet by 33 feet. We can go everywhere. We can transport our reactor.
Can stay here inside the ballroom?
Sorry?
can stay here inside the ballroom?
Yeah, sure. In terms of size, footprint, yes. Maybe we need some meter more.
Next time you
for
can
the
bring
road.
it.
Yes. And we can use the regular road, the regular track to transport the reactor everywhere. And the other nice things of the reactor is that we use component and material that nowadays exist. We don't need to wait for a long supply chain that is still not there. We can deploy the reactor immediately starting from 2028. This is our target. And we can bring with our technology electricity where electricity is not present, not only in the nuclear industrial country where we need electricity for mostly data center and AI hyperscale, but also in non-nuclear, in a non-developed country. And not only electricity, but also radioisotopes, radiopharmacy, which is very important because the production of those pharmacies so far localized in a small number of countries in the world and is very difficult to transport everywhere. We got a very nice deal with our transaction at NASDAQ. We are fully funded company with more than 100 million, and we can build the reactor in Illinois, the first of a kind reactor in 2027.
Looks like a big thing.
It is.
Bernd, from one big thing to the other one, let's talk about the Chat Mobile, the mobile virtual network operator you are building on culture, entertainment, and connectivity.
Yeah, with pleasure. And thank you for that insightful question, I might add. So yeah, we are building Chat Mobile, and it's really a next-gen mobile service focusing on culture, entertainment, community, and connectivity all on your phone. The reality is, nobody has an emotional connection to the telco carrier. No one cares. We all have random carriers that we probably got with a phone deal probably many years ago. We are changing all of that. We are actually now branding the telephone service, and we're taking your mobile phone, a commodity, and we are celebritizing it, and we're giving you that emotional connection. There is no proof of concept yet because it hasn't been done, but the closest we get is some of you may have seen that Ryan Reynolds lent his name, image, and likeness to Mint Mobile. He invested $1 million, and after 2.5 years when they sold, he walked away with $338 million. Not too shabby in terms of return of investments. The financials are impressive, and this is a next-gen move, and we're working on a massive, massive launch, and I'm truly excited to share it with you guys and for you to watch what we're doing.
Thank you, Bernd. Austin, what's on the launch pad on Zeland Consulting? I know you are dealing with many stuff, from private jets, charters, AI, many stuff. Just pick one.
Yeah, so it really
Tell
comes
us
down
your
to
secret.
Our secret. All right, get ready. So it really comes down to our vetting process. We're looking at companies that have a great idea. There's obviously a product market fit. People want this product. People like them. They've got a good name. But maybe, just maybe, they could do a better job if they had the right structure, the right team, the right leadership, the right AI tools to grow to the next level faster. And so one of the things you mentioned, actually, the private jet company, that's one of the most exciting projects for us because that allows other people to benefit as well, not just charter jets from us, but potentially become an owner of a jet. And in the downtime, when they're not using their own jet, they either offset their costs or potentially even make a little bit of a profit. So it becomes more than just about the company making money, but also the end user benefiting. Even as far as like tax write-offs go, the big beautiful bill has a lot of great provisions for private jets. You should look into that. Can't give you tax advice, unfortunately, but definitely ask your tax advisor. And, for me, I like when it benefits everybody, not like we help companies and then they screw the customer. We want it to be something where I help a founder achieve his dream, the company grows, the employees benefit, and also the end user has a great experience, they benefit in some way, and their clients are praising their name. They're like, oh, I love this company. I like to be part of projects like that.
Thank you so much. John, I see that your secret is your socks. Can you show us?
Absolutely, guys. Just
Amazing. So, a part of the socks, can you tell us more about your co-capital, Bloom Co-Capital?
absolutely. So we started off in the consulting advisory kind of network and space.
No, just keep it closer, then
Check,
they
check.
regulate the volume from the audio video mixer.
So we
Yeah.
started off in the consulting advisory kind of positions. From there, we started networking and deal making, putting the founders in touch with the correct capital and not just empty space capital per se. Strategic partnerships is a massive, massive part of our growth and our network. And I believe that upstream deal flow into privatized markets is where we really capitalize, and we're going to set the difference in the infrastructure of the deals that we bring to the table, because we're creating the architecture of the deal itself, working with the founder and bringing the deal to the market in the very beginning stages, so that the venture capitals, the private equity out there can then take part of that deal.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Vishwa, I know you deal with the most important asset, the human capital. How do you do that?
Excellent, thank you. So, like, we always feel like second least used energy is actually human capital after the sun. If you look at what exactly we are trying to accomplish, we have built a platform which is not a one-purpose platform for hiring or for upskilling, etc. So what we wanted to do is to create 1,000 entrepreneurs. We know we don't have the answers for everything across all the industries. Idea behind what we have created is a platform through which you can deliver and understand people holistically to provide a pathway to succeed in this world. The situation is very akin to, the mobile revolution which happened in the 90s, right? So when you look at it, AI is very similar to that. In the sense, like the penetration rate of landline in the 90s in parts of Asia was less than 3%. And then suddenly 95% penetration rate within the first 5 years. AI is exactly going to be the same, which means that it's going to be easy for anybody who is a college kid, doesn't have to be an Ivy League kid, to have access to AI. They don't have to be a community college kid, or they don't have to be a foster kid. It doesn't matter. Idea is, how can you identify the right talent? Figure out a good pathway to give them a possibility to succeed. It doesn't matter how and what you're going to do. So, and it helps businesses pretty significantly in the sense like it doesn't have to be, find the right person for the right job at the right price. It ends up making businesses more money, and it ends up creating more capital available for everybody. That's the whole idea behind how we built it, and we built it all using an algorithm and a capability which is standardized across the globe, which is the behavioral economics theory, which we have used in how we are assessing the skills, 84 different soft skills, and over 156 million job skills. We put that all together. Not everybody is going to need all the skills. It's just that we wanted to create it in such a way. We want to create at least 1,000 entrepreneurs who are going to create models on top of what we create and be on their own. We just become the engine through which everything gets delivered. So that's kind of what we do.
Thank you. Michael, do you usually deal with human or technology?
I'm sorry, say again? Human or
Do you usually deal with humans or technology?
Definitely humans.
Humans. So,
Definitely humans.
tell us more about Claire Holdings.
Yeah,
And what's your secret in what you do, in your know-how?
It's not really my secret. It's a secret that we've all been given. Decentralization is a true and correct principle, not only of the universe. We see it when we look up in the stars, but inside of our bodies, we see it when we look inside microscopes. Decentralization can actually set us free from a lot of the lies that we all live with every day, whether it's what we fill our gas tanks with or what we pay to fill our gas tanks with. Some of you deal with the stock markets. You know that there's some lies in there with naked short selling. Some of us deal with the crypto environments. You know that those assets aren't really backed. And when we really go into the future and look back, we're going to find out that these lies can actually be solved by tying transparency and honesty to how we transact. We've seen this. $4 trillion have already gone into what I believe is a litmus test, also known as Bitcoin. But Bitcoin can't transact in real time and have true privacy. But decentralization and some of the clear technologies in the digital world that we all share can actually afford that, where we can actually be who we are privately as individuals and actually have governing bodies validate who we are and endorse who we are so that we can then transact, we can own our own assets, we can own our own data, and really, we can actually live lives that have a choice. Because right now, we don't have a choice. All of you either have an Android device or an Apple device. You're in the centralized system. Last week, Apple launched Digital ID. Do you understand what you're actually getting into? Do you understand the slavery when you combined identity and payments and AI on a system that's already, I won't say it's a Ponzi scheme, but I'll say it's pretty dang close. The financial systems, I don't care what currency you're in, US dollar, renminbi, mark, yen, they're all built on Ponzi scheme price principles. How many are there? Who issues them? How are they issued? The stock market's same thing. But if you can actually control your own assets after you control your own identity, there's a future that we can all be a part of. The gentleman earlier said it's going to be a long time before it gets adopted. I emphatically disagree. 16 years I personally spent to make sure that that reality becomes reality today. Been to over 28 countries, 10 of them are on board. You wait until the United States actually catch up to the rest of the world. And a lot of disruption is going to change, not only for folks like you that actually want to preserve wealth, but for folks that actually say, let's diversify, whether it's currencies, equities, commodities, bonds, cryptos, insurance. Insurance is a big key to this all the way, but basically, decentralization is what it's about. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense, of course. Last round of answer. So because we have discussed of many things, so I want a final powerful mandate for each of you to the audience. So what's the most critical commitment our audience must take tomorrow, since tomorrow, to ensure their wealth truly contributes to the world?
Contributes to the world?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first is you have to protect it. And I think based on today's market performance, which was like 1,000-point shift in Dow and 2 to 3% in NASDAQ and S&P, you have to preserve it. So we always look at defense and offense. So defense is how are you going to preserve what you already have? And obviously, there are a number of ways of doing it, and you can look into that. So that's number one. And number two is, invest in the areas that you believe in, that you know are, that you have the expertise in. We did not go out investing in healthcare, but we realized that humans are actually unconsciously biased towards impact investments, unless you're a total jerk. And that's why about 40+% of our portfolio is healthcare. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you know, protect what you already have. And I think by default, if you're a good human, you can be putting money in impact investments.
Thank you. Alessandro?
All our existence is energy. Our wealth is energy. Without energy, we will not be here. If we want to really progress and if we want to really have a healthy human life, we need energy for everybody in all the world. And this is what we would like to do with our project. Whenever you have energy, you can bring clean water. Whenever you have energy, you can bring radiopharmacy for improving your health. Whenever you have energy, you have a good society. Whenever you have energy, you may have also less number of wars in the world. So really, energy is what is driven the society, is I think what we really need to focus in the next years. There are a lot of challenges because energy, we can increase the production of energy, yes. The real challenge in all our countries is how we transmit that energy from where it's produced to the final point. I fully agree with the decentralization. So far, our world is based in terms of energy on localized production. This is something that, for me, represented the past of the development. We really need to go also on decentralized system of energy. We need to be disconnected to the grid, and in that way we can bring immediately the energy needed where is demanded.
Thank you, Alessandro. Bernard, it's only energy? Because I saw you were saying yes. It's only energy?
So I think we all have good energy, but from my vantage point, the best investment we can make is in ourselves. So I believe in culture and community, and I believe very much in decentralization as a principle of monetizing opportunity. And then as a little side note of big investment opportunity in the US, live selling. Commerce, as we know it, is changing in front of my very eyes. We are normally a market leader. When it comes to DTC, direct to consumer, we are lagging behind the world, particularly behind Asia, where live selling is dominant, and there's going to be a giant sucking sound when we catch up, and it's a tremendous opportunity that's currently untapped.
Thank you so much. Austin, so we have energy, culture, and community. What's next? From your side.
Overall, my investment thesis is very much centered around impact, and I think it's twofold. Number one is expanding my investment horizon. Whatever it is that I'm investing in, I want to look at 10 times the horizon that I'm thinking of. So if I'm thinking in terms of 5 years, why am I not thinking in terms of 50 years? If I'm thinking in terms of my generation, how can I think in terms of 10 generations? And then working my way backwards to have practical, actionable steps every day, every year that I can take to achieve that impact. So no matter what sector I'm investing in, that's like a North Star that we follow with our investments.
Thank you. John?
I am creating his infrastructure to invest in. That's where I see the next decade long of investments come to light is don't follow the markets, create and invest in the infrastructure that the civilizations are going to rely on. That being decentralization, the nuclear power over there as well, and then as the consulting and advisory position as well. But that's kind of what we believe in is the creating the infrastructure layer for the investments to follow.
Thank you. Vishwa?
The investment, I believe, has to be on people. If the investment is not on the person, I don't think, or I don't believe it's sustainable for growing profitability without the people growing along with it, right? It doesn't help. What I absolutely believe in is, as long as we are able to bring the people along with the change, it's easier. Make it easier for the change to happen for the people. Automatically, all of these profitability scenarios and the efficiencies that we are going to gain by way of AI has to reach at the bottom level, the right kind of people. Empowering them to make and take advantage of everything is probably going to be the crucial. That's my opinion on the people side before we improve the process side or the tech side or the delivery side of how we are doing it.
Thanks so much. Michael, you monopolized the discussion on decentralization, so up to you to conclude this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's actually really simple. We all have a choice, whether we think we do or we don't. We really do. You have a choice with every dollar that you spend, where you spend it, what you spend it on, and what it is. And if you choose to say, I will be a part of the financial system, I will choose to be a part of the crypto system, I will choose to say that certain assets is what I put my life into, you have a choice. How you transact and where you transact and the systems that you transact on. If you transact in centralized systems, like some of your wealth is currently in those systems, maybe it's an entrepreneur, maybe it's a bank, maybe it's a country, but the reality is that's your choice. And what I would say is in the future, you're going to have a choice where you domicile your life out of. It's not just I was born in a certain country, and so I have a certain nationality. It's I can choose who I am, how I incorporate, if I incorporate, my identity, and who endorses you, and where you put your assets. Not only that, but the beautiful lives that you get to create and bring into this world. How do they get birth certificates? How do they get driver's licenses? How do you register vehicles? All of these things will be your choice. You can choose to be in the centralized system with all of this, or you can choose to be in the decentralized system. But the reality is, we have a choice now. It's not in the future. Decentralization is here. Bitcoin's got $4 trillion worth of proof that it actually can be done, but it can't be done in real time, and it can't be done privately. But I'm telling you, You can do it for yourself as an individual. You can do it for the generations to come. And if you shift now, if you start shifting now from the fiat systems, that's a Ponzi scheme, from even the crypto systems, that's a form of a massive Ponzi scheme. If you shift from these systems into real assets that are cryptographically proven and then pass it to the next generations, they'll see your choice. I argue that we are not centrally controlled by secret combinations anymore. Technology will set us free. And yes, maybe it's about people making choices, but the dispensation that we get to live in now is amazing. And the technology is actually what the differentiator is. So thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Thank
for
you.
putting this program on, absolutely well done. 28 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.